Hi, happy Tune In Tuesday. My name's Kim Irwin, and I am with Spirit Connection. SpiritConnection.org is my website. And I do these on Tuesdays where I kind of talk a little bit in December in particular. I'm talking about experiences in some of my readings. And of course, like I don't want coal in my stocking. Of course, I don't share these things unless I have permission from those folks. But anyway, I talk a little bit about readings and sessions, and they're usually 2 to 3 minutes or so, but this one is going to be a little bit longer because this is actually a personal experience that I've had that I think is just fascinating and amazing, and I want to share it with you. So, my dad and I were like this. We're very, very close, and he passed 26 years ago. So, he had been gone for about a year. And my now husband and I, Scott and I, were looking at a house, and we were going to meet the realtor. And I got there first, and I was parked underneath the street light. And I called Scott and I said, "We're going to buy this house." And he's like, "Did you go in it already?" I said, "No, I didn't go in it, but we're going to buy it." Well, sure enough, we did. We ended up buying this house. And our two daughters were fairly young. Taylor, I think, was maybe 3 or 4, and so Lindsay would have been around 9. And I was a personal trainer at the time. And the thing that was so weird, you know, during the winter, you know how it's so dark in the morning and so dark at night and everything. Well, every time I would come home, it was dark. When I would leave in the morning, it was dark. And I noticed that that street light would turn on and off. And I was like, well, that's really kind of weird. Why is that thing going on and off? And so it really caught my attention. And I thought, what's going on with this? So pretty soon, because this is how I believe and how I think, I decided that was my connection with my dad. That's how my dad, you're probably going, "Oh my God, she's a whack job." No, but trust me on this, okay? So I truly believe that was my dad connecting with me. And so it progressed to the point where I would come home at night, and the girls and I would stand at our little window by the front door, and I'd say, "Let's talk to Grandpa." And we'd look out there and we'd put all of our energy into it, and we'd turn that light off because it's at night, so it was on. So we turn it off, and then we turn it on. We're like, "Grandpa," you know, so we were talking to Grandpa that way. That was our connection. Well, of course, my husband, Scott, is saying, "Kim, those are solar powered. They're gonna come on at night. They're gonna go off during the day. You're not doing this." And I'm like, "You think what you want." So one day we were waiting for the girls to get dropped off from their dads. And Scott and I were sitting in the front yard, middle of the day. And of course the street lights off because they're solar powered, right? And I said, "Oh, hey, you want to see me turn the light on and off? You want to see me talk to my dad?" And he's like, yeah, you go ahead and do that. Well, sure as anything, I'm giving it my energy, and it turns on, middle of the day. Turn it back off, turn it on, turn it off. And he is like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe this." So anyway, it was really wild. And this went on for years, honestly. And then one day, I'm trying to remember what happened. I can't remember if we had some horses that were born that had the same birthday as my dad. And I can't remember if one of the horses, if we sold it. I think that may have been what it was. We sold the horse. She was actually a real snot and she was young, but we sold her and the light went out. Did not come back on. Like, evening came, light was dark. We couldn't turn it on and off. It was just completely disconnected. So it's kind of funny because to this day, sometimes I'll drive over into the neighborhood and park under the light and see if anything happens, and it doesn't. So anyway, that is kind of my story with this. It's just wild. And I think you guys can kind of relate to. I would love to hear in the comments after I do some of these little videos on Tuesdays. Please put in the comments any of the things that you've had that are like, just like, unexplainable, or I know that was my dad, or I know that was my mom, or whatever it is. share that stuff. It's really kind of cool to hear everybody's different experiences and things like that. And so we do have next week, so I think I have 2 more, and I will be sharing a couple more stories about that. And then in January, we'll take a little different topic and talk about this. But like I said, add something in the comments. Go to my website, please, spiritconnection.org. On there, we can do like a free little consultation if you and I haven't met and you're just like, what is this all about? I need to talk to Kim, directly. We can do that. Just a very short, brief conversation. And then if you want to book a session, book a session. It is so cool. And again, I can do them virtually. I didn't know actually that it would be as effective as it is, but we can get on the phone, we can FaceTime, we can Zoom. Or if you're local and we want to get together, we can do that too. I'm just looking forward to working with you. So thanks again. I hope you have a great Tuesday. We'll talk with you again soon.